Well, good afternoon, my stitchy friends. Why don't you grab your favorite stitching, grab your favorite drink, and come stitch with me for an hour? Okay, go grab your stuff. We'll be right back. Okay, did you grab your stitching? Do you have your favorite drink? Let's sit together and chat for a little bit and work on our stitching. As you saw today, I'm working on my Heaven and Earth design, Sir Frederick Frosty. And yeah, just thought we'd stitch a little bit. Okay, let me turn that music off, make sure it's off. Okay. All right, I think we got it. Sometimes, even though I think I have it turned down, the last video, it seemed to get a little louder than I thought it should. So hopefully that takes care of it. So how is everybody today? What are you stitching on? It looks like it's a gorgeous day here in Pennsylvania. Sun's out. It's supposed to be warmer, thank heaven. I honestly haven't been outside today yet. No, got up, did some laundry, because this time change really messes me up for a couple days afterwards. Doesn't matter which way. Well, it's more so when we have to turn the clocks ahead as opposed to turning them back. The gaining an hour is rather nice. This losing an hour is rather not so nice. And it takes you a while to adjust. My God. Yeah, always kind of does me in a little bit, but it is what it is, and we get used to it. But got up this morning, did 2 loads of wash, got my stuff together for a video. That always takes a little bit of finagling around until you get your stitching set up, get the camera where it needs to be so that everybody can see, get it to focus. Knock on wood, my friends. Did you notice? So far we didn't have a focus issue this morning, I don't think. So maybe that's a good sign. I hope so. But yeah, it takes a little bit to get ready for these things. Until you get all your equipment. Well, normally I have it all set up, but still, till you get the cameras focused right, do the screen share so you can see my tablet. Yeah, but that's okay. It's fun. And we get to stitch together a little bit this morning or this afternoon. I decided to do this today because tomorrow is going to be a little bit of running around till we go for groceries and pick up our taxes and do all that kind of stuff tomorrow. And then Wednesday, I have to go down to my daughter and get the kids off the school bus and stay with them until she gets home from work. But that'll be a fun time. Yeah. They like their Nana time. Yeah, little Emmy was being a little stinker here. The last time they were here for... Where am I here? Oh, okay, that's the right spot. Last time they were here was for my husband's birthday. She was just being a little so-and-so. So she always likes when Nana sleeps over. So I said, well, if you can do what Mommy asked, like clean up your room and be good until Nana comes down, maybe she'll sleep over with you. So we shall see. I'm ready to end a thread here, and I'm trying something new that I saw it in another video, and it was I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember it wasn't a FlossTube video, but it was a embroidery video. And it was the way the woman was starting and ending her threads. Now, she was doing something that was just a border. Let me see if I saved it so that I can show you. Let me see. I think I might have saved it as a favorite. History. Let's see. Okay, the channel was called Make This Beauty. And I watched a couple of her videos, so go back to find the one that thank goodness you have a history here. Oh, was it that far back? Oh my goodness, I must have been watching a lot of videos here. And yeah, we're supposed to be stitching, aren't we? But I think you will... Okay, here it is.
Ever wonder what everyone's doing on their phones?
Yeah, ever wonder why everybody has to put up...
They're banking with Bank of America.
Okay, let me get through this ad so I can show you. It's called Make This Beauty, and what she's doing is making a flower border. Well, that's not exactly the one that I thought it was, but let me see here. No, it wasn't this one. Anyway, let me show you what she does. And I'm going to end my thread the way that she both starts and ends her threads. And I thought it was rather interesting. Now, I don't know, I haven't figured out yet if you can do it on say a 25 count. I haven't tried that. But since my snowman here is on 20 count, 8 a cloth, I can do it. So let me flip over, and I've come to the conclusion by doing this that it could really neaten up your back, but it would mean flipping over every time. But you see here, I have done some, like here. Well, these are just away threads, but let me put it over here. What she does is just picks up. Let me zoom you. Oh, I can't zoom you in more. Got to bring the camera down. Okay. Can you see that? The two little threads that make up the back of the block, she just goes and picks a few of those up. Like I've done 3, but 2 would be sufficient. And then pull your thread through those. So in essence, it's the same thing as an away thread, but you can just then clip it off. And then that will get stitched over and secured. Yeah, see my mess here? Lots of confetti in there. But let me go over here a little bit. Let's see, is that coming in this? Yeah, that's coming in. I have done that down at this area on this diagonal. And notice how it really did clean it up a little bit. I mean, not that it's fairly solid stitching to begin with, but it really kind of got rid of these little tail things. So I just wanted to mention that. And yes, you'd have to turn your work over. That would be the thing. That would be the only thing. But depending on what frame you're working on, let's go back up here. And let's go back over here. Now, see, now I moved you, and I got to readjust you again. There we go. Depending on what, if you're holding your hoop in your hand, not so bad. If you're using a stand, depending on what stand you're using, it could be relatively easily done. Let's see, which way do I gotta go here? See, this is the fuss we have setting up, getting it all together. So I just wanted to show you that because I have found it rather interesting, and once again, something I've chosen to experiment with. Oh yeah, me and my experimentations, right? See, I find something new, and golly geez, I always have to try it. But there are many things that I've seen that other people have done, and I tried it and started doing it, and find that yeah, I really enjoy that. Or nope, not for me. When I first started diagonal stitching, I was all about the parking, all about it. Well, you guys all know that. I was all about the parking and stitching row by row, and parking in the next occurrence. And I did that, well, I did quite a few videos on that, and I did that for quite some time. And then Pattern Keeper came along. I think that's when I got a bit antsy about going row by row, because I could, of course, Pattern Keeper highlights that color all over the place for you, and it's very hard for me not to want to follow the color and not just stay within those 10 stitches. Pattern Keeper like aroused the cross country dragon in me where I thought, oh my god, I want to go back to stitching cross country. I want to go back to doing more than a stitch and before I have to thread my needle. So, you know what? I tried many things, as probably a lot of you have done, and you're not going to find your way, or you're not going to find the way that makes you happy or brings you the most joy or makes you want to pick up the stitching instead of going, oh, I really love that design, but I really don't like stitching row by row, stitch by stitch. That's not for me. And yet, it's, some people love it, some people don't love it, some people love parking, and that's the only way they want to stitch, and some people don't. And you know what? It's all okay. Everything. It's all okay, because you know what? It's not about what everybody else does. It's not about the way I stitch. It's not about the way any other floss tuber stitches. It's about the way that you want to stitch and what makes you happy. Because it's all okay. As I said, this is not a place that you will come and get criticized for the way you do things. This is the place where whatever you do is all okay as long as you're happy. So, I have found that for right now, and God forbid, we know this can change. We know this may change. I might not feel this way next week. But for right now, I am just totally happy when I don't get a knot. And stitching on the diagonal, and basically what I'm doing is color completing. So in essence, the easiest way to explain my latest happy place is I'm stitching a diagonal. As you see, I don't stick strictly to it. If I see that there's only one stitch of that color in the next diagonal, I will stitch it. If I see that I only have 1 or 2 stitches in my current diagonal, but there's a bunch in the next, I'll let it for when I stitch the next. I'm not parking. I was just finding that parking was giving me anxiety. All those threads hanging were just making me a little goofy. So I've decided that's not for me. But this way is. And I really have enjoyed it. And, I was in if I have to say so, I was in a bit of a slump of, yes, my focus for this year is I really want to get at least one stocking done for Christmas of 22. And if I don't get them both done, that's okay, but I want to get at least one done. But if I did this and used parking, it was making me not want to stitch. But this method, it's like, I rather enjoy this. I can stitch a bunch of stitches before I have to change the color. So what I've done is, the way I've picked my colors as to what I'm going to do next is applying Sarah, Stitching Mommy's typewriter method, but just using it within my 10 stitch wide column. So I'm not going all the way across the row and then working down. I'm just working within my 10 stitch wide column. Now, I have toyed with the idea of making that 20 stitches instead of 10. My only concern with that, and like I said, I have to try it before I make a judgment, but my concern with that is, will it cause too many thread carries or a longer distance of thread carry on the back, depending on where those other, like right now I'm stitching 310. Oh, the infamous 310. I have projects that are just polluted with 310. But anyway, so right now I'm stitching 310. And okay, I don't have anything in a 20 stitch wide diagonal, so it's not an issue with this color. But say I have these stitches here where I'm stitching now, and I go 20 stitches wide, so that's going to put me over in here. Is from here to here too long of a jump to carry that thread? And that's one of the things that I think you'd have to make an assessment as you go. Like, okay, what am I carrying? What is on, if I, like the way this is right here now, if I carry from here over to here, I'm carrying past completed stitches. If this was unstitched, I would have no qualms about it, because then I would stitch over it. However, due to the fact that it's stitched, I don't know that I want that long. Not that it's terribly long. I know people that carry so very much further. And again, no judgment, no judgment. But for me, I don't know that I really would want to carry 20 stitches across an area that's already stitched. So, so it's going to have to be a thought process, and think about it and assess it at each junction of when that occurs. Okay, so we've finished those. So now we'll do our little finish off again thing. Well, maybe I'll just tuck this one under because I really don't have space. And I really don't mind flipping to tuck under as long as I have, as long as I'm on this stand or have this in a hoop where I can easily, without much problem, get to the back. It's when I'm working and I don't have quick, easy access to the back that then I get a little like, oh, I don't want to flip it. Oh, which brings me to another topic. I know I've told a lot of you that I would do a demo or an unboxing of my Patoki stand when it comes. I can't remember if I talked about this in a video before or not, but I think it's going to be a while yet before that comes. The factory that makes them, even though on the website it says what to contact them, that they're in the Czech Republic, that in fact is not the case. They might be based and have a home base in the Czech Republic. However, that's just one stitch. Phooey. However, their factory where the stands are manufactured is in Ukraine. And it's outside of, I think I'm pronouncing it right, Dnipro, Dnipro. And it is the place, it is the city, it's an industrial city, and there were some bombings there last week. So I have been in contact with Michael and to let people know they are okay. They are not exactly in the city. They have their own private land that the factory is based on. So that's a good thing. And the last I spoke to him, they are okay. And they are still working on orders. So any of you that do have orders in with them, hang in there, because they are working on orders. 792. And they do plan on, I can't find that color. They do plan on shipping when their postal system becomes a little more stable. Right now it's a little iffy. I don't know that all the carriers like FedEx and UPS and I can't find this color. And all of those carriers are going into Ukraine at this point in time. So they are going to hold off on the shipping until such time as they're sure that shipping is a bit more stable. Which absolutely they need to do, because we want, rather take precautions that things are going to ship appropriately than, try and ship somebody's stand and have it, I don't know, sit somewhere, get lost somewhere. Who knows what could happen. So they are holding off. So, but do know that they are okay. They are working on orders. Um, they will ship as soon as they're able to. And why can't I find this color? I have it in my box. Well, we'll just go to a different color. How's that? So hang in there. Hang in there. Like I said, I said to him, I said, you know what? Even though it's been quite some time since I ordered, it's actually over a year ago, but that's okay. Stuff happens. Things happen. A lot has happened in the last year, and that's, I don't mind waiting. That's okay. But, do it. Don't try and get things out. Just the most important thing is a stand can be replaced. It's a thing. It's an object. It's a thing. A life can't. So for me, it's more important that they stay safe than getting my stand. And now I have to figure out where I am. I'm right about here. So that's the story. So when, and it may be a while, but when my stand comes, we will do an unboxing. And by the way, mine was not a mini stand because I already have that. Mine is one of the floor stands. Okay, it's the M4 floor stand that will hold hoops. It will not. It's not the one that does scroll frames, because in all honesty, as much as I want to like scroll frames, I just can't. They're not my thing. I tried really hard. I tried really, really hard to love them, but they're just, no. I like my hoop. Oops. I like it to be portable because I like to stitch over here in my porch, as well as take it into the living room in the evening. So I need my stuff. It's more important to me to have stuff be portable than it is to have a scroll frame. Plus, I just enjoy stitching more, just the way I am right now. So that's the story with Patoki. Keep them in your thoughts, keep them in your prayers, that all of that ends soon. Well, what can you say? Many of us have the same feelings, and really what we want is for their safety and well-being. Lives are more important than my stand. And actually, I had pretty much given up the thought of ever seeing it. I had visions of it being bombed and all of that. So it was nice to hear that they're that they are okay. So there you have that. That's that story. Okay, what else do we have to ramble on about today? I didn't really come up with anything other than to just enjoy some stitching for a while. Let's see, we're about 35 minutes in. Now this is the only thing. Stitching this way and making sure you get your stuff placed right can be, a little bit challenging, but hey, back in the day when all I stitched was cross country, it's really no different. And if you work your way down, I don't know what I did with that color. I know it was in my box. But if you work your way down the column, it just kind of all flows together. That if you make a mistake, you're going to catch it pretty quickly. So that is a good thing. So, which method do you guys enjoy? What is your favorite way to stitch Heaven and Earth designs? I think we did talk about that a little bit on the how many stitches can you stitch? I gotta find that number. I'll be right back. I'm not going too far. How many stitches did you stitch in an hour video? Well, no wonder. No wonder I couldn't find it. I didn't pull it out of my master set. Well, what was I thinking? Oh, wait, that was the problem. I wasn't thinking. So now we can safely stitch that color. And I'll fess up. I'm going to cheat. I am going to cheat. Let me make this a little bigger. Okay. Do you see this symbol right here? Do you see it anywhere close by? I don't think so. Do you see it anywhere close by? I don't think so. So guess what? This is when we cheat. Okay, no, maybe not we cheat. This is when I cheat. Come on, come on. There we go. That symbol is now going to become this symbol. And yep, I'm gonna cheat. Because how many of you enjoy threading a needle and stitching the stitch for one color, for one stitch? It's not in an eye because I already have his eyes stitched. Where are they? Here we go. See, eyes are already stitched. So it's in an area of backgrounds, basically. So seriously, does it make a difference? I don't think so. So seriously, what color are we going to stitch it? I get that a lot of times it's a shading thing and to highlight something. However, just out of curiosity, that color is 797. Oh, for heaven's sake. Hold on. How did I miss these colors? I thought I pulled everything. Yeah. Okay. The color that it's supposed to be is 797. Okay. The color that this is 792. Now, seriously, give me a break. Seriously. For one stitch, no. That symbol has just become 792. And those are the things I go, why? I don't understand why. What can I say? So it's, what am I stuck on here? Oh, that's what I'm stuck on. So these are the times that, I don't know about you, and you can tell me in the comments, but I do know about me. These are the times that I go, how does that make sense? Why do I have to put one stitch, not 5, one stitch of a different color? I just don't understand. So if any of you can explain that to me or help me understand that, I would really appreciate it, because is that one stitch that I would have put there, my back's starting to hurt, that I would have put there really gonna provide that much of an accent or contribute that much to the shading, really, I don't, I don't, I don't understand. So, if some of you have a better explanation or a reasonable explanation, I would be really interested in hearing what your thoughts are. Because maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's something I just don't get. And that could quite possibly be the case because like I say, I'm no expert. I'm just a stitcher just like the rest of you guys. So I need you folks to help me understand that because I just don't. I have a hard time wrapping my head around that. I don't know. I don't know. So let's see. I didn't bring it with me today. What else have I been doing? I did do a bit of knitting this week. I did work on a scarf. And it was one I made just because I haven't knit in such a very, 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 very long time. And what I wanted to do, and that was the purpose really of making this, was I wanted to teach myself how to do continental knitting, of which I did, and I think I got relatively proficient at it. However, maybe after I block it, but unblocked, the scarf isn't quite as large as I would have liked it to be. I mean, I can put it's a elongated triangle type one, and I can put the point in the front, but when I pull it up and wrap it around my neck, the sides aren't long enough to come back to the front. So I'm hoping that if I block it, that will help that. And if it doesn't, well, you know what? That's another thing that we just chalk up to experience. Okay, what did I not do right here? I did those 3. I did those 2. I did these 2. That's even with that. Okay, now I need 2 here. Okay. I was not reading my... See, that's the habit I don't have that I really need to get into, folks, is instead of waiting and crossing off a whole bunch of stitches, I really, 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 oh, look, need to cross them off as I go. Because it looks like here I missed one. So look, we're going to cheat again. Oh, I know why it's not there, because that's in the next column, the next diagonal. And what I did is mark it off, and I should not have. That's my error of my way. So I really, really, really should get in the habit of marking things off as I do them and not waiting until the very end That's why I marked that and I didn't stitch it. So, lesson be learned there, my friends. I need to mark as I go instead of doing that whole bit and then marking it afterwards. Okay, I think we're going to just work this one under also, since I could put it over here. Let's see. So remember how I did that? I just looked for these two little threads on the back. Do you know what it reminds me of, ending a thread this way? It reminds me of when I was a kid and I did huck embroidery. So there was a special toweling that you use for that called huck toweling. And what you did was you went along and you picked up those little, what shall I call them, ridges in the fabric, and you used pearl cotton, and that's how you made the design, by picking up those itty bitty ridges, and you would make triangles, and it was all kinds of designs that we used to make. My mom had several books with patterns in it, and going on the back here and picking up those little, I don't know what I would call them, the threads, the bars on the back, kind of put me to mind of that. But I thought it was a rather unique way to end your threads, and hopefully would cut down on those little ends. Let's go back here. Don't lose your snaggy nabbit. Okay. See, it would cut down on these little ends sticking up, because you can, if you go under like 1, 2, 3, you can cut it relatively close, and then you're stitching over that. And I think it's going to be a lot cleaner than having ends stick up. And depending on where I am going to start a thread at, I would consider using this method to also start threads, depending on how much unstitched space I would have to do that, because that's the thing. If you're already have an area stitched, there's no way for you to pick up these little bars. So that's the only thing that I would, wonder about when starting or ending a thread. Pardon me. But I thought it was just another unique way of doing things. And like I said, what were her video? Who was she? One day I'll learn to talk. No, it wasn't that one. It was... Oh, here I go again. Distracted. Rabbit holes. Down a rabbit hole. Rabbit holes. Oh, my stomach. Make This Beauty. That's what it was called. That's the name of the channel. Oh, stop. Okay, it's called Embroidery Border. Let's see light cross stitch. And then there's another one called It's Just Fabulous, a wonderful cross stitch technique. And the channel is called Make. Here we go. Uploads, let's see. There you go. Make This Beauty. And these two videos are the ones I watched. And she used that technique to start and end her threads. And she does a sewing method, which I don't know that I could use on a Heaven and Earth design. But she uses a sewing method. She uses that technique of starting and ending her threads. And when you flip to the back of her work, let me find the spot where it is. Oh, it's probably back here at the end. Oh, phooey. Okay. When you flip to the back of her work, can you see it? All her stitches lay she does her X's in such a manner that she's going to flip it over in a second. There. Everything is straight lines in the back. Everything. And then she worked under one of those bars to get across to end that thread. So watch it and see what you think. I thought it was quite interesting. Quite interesting. So there's always something, it just goes to show there's always something new to learn out there. Always. And you know what? You take those things that you see in other people's videos, and what I do is, okay, is that something I can incorporate in mine, or is it something that's just not going to work, or is it something that will work on some of the things I stitch, or is it something I'm going to say no. But you experiment, you try. So I encourage everybody to be that person that experiments and tries and find things that are going to work for you. Well, my friends, it looks like our hour is just about up. So I think we're going to end this video here, and I am going to say thank you all for spending an hour with me. It has been fun. I enjoy our conversations, and I do hope that you've gotten a bunch of stitching done. So, with that, my dear people, I am going to say goodbye and love you all. Stitch happy, stay safe, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.